Always envision yourself in future. I mean, do not think what I'm doing at the present moment, it's important. I mean, enjoy it. But try to foresee yourself that down the line 5 years, 10 years, even on my deathbed, how do I want to go? Because जब आप ये thinking सोचना शुरू कर देते हैं तो you become very critical of what you are doing and how you're spending your time. This is Shumaila Memon. I work as associate professor at Mehran University. The recent highlight of my career is that recently I was in America on my Fulbright scholarship, which was Hubert Humphrey Fellowship, a kind of postdoctorate. And apart from my work in the field of linguistics, I was lucky enough to work with United Nations Center County Chapter, United Nations Women headquarters in New York. And one of the major work experiences that I got over there was that I worked with Penn State University Press. Over there I learned the work related to book composition and the research journal management and publication. And apart from this beautiful journey, I've got some more life experiences that I will be shortly sharing with you. I basically come from Daro, which is a small town in district Sajawal, and which used to be basically in district Thatta in past. I was lucky to be born in a family where I saw my mother and father both working, and although we had good share of problems in our life, but one of the best things that I learned in my childhood through my mother was whatever the obstacles she faced into her life, she had strong determination. She never complained about it. She had 5 children with limited resources, and from the very narrow boundary of a village, she imagined us to all be educated and be very curious and always a learner in our life. And with the help of our grandparents, my Nana Bu, my Khalas were very, very helping and encouraging in our educational journey. She educated all of us. And today all of us enjoy very prestigious positions into our relevant fields of work. And apart from seeing her as a working woman, managing home and then managing children, my father was a dispenser, but we always saw him doing all kinds of chores himself. Like he never felt that this is odd to repair this thing or that thing or to do this kind of thing. I mean, labor work was always worship for him. So I'm kind of thankful to him for giving us that beautiful lesson of life. And so with this determination from my mother and love for labor from my father, we all grew up, and then we started our professional journey. So coming from a small town into university was definitely a very difficult journey, especially living in hostels. I used to live in Marvi hostel, and but then somehow we made it, like everybody else who works hard. So if you talk about my professional achievements during that era, I got first position into my bachelor's and then MA as well. And as soon as I finished, like I told you, there was an internal dialogue built into our childhood, into our brain, that women also work. It's not only that they have to look after the home, but since we saw our mother always working, so we were programmed to launch ourselves into some kind of career for us. So as soon as I got my result of MA, it was very natural for me to look for a job. I mean, I didn't want to settle for anything else until and unless I've secured a job. And I was lucky. I joined my younger sister who was studying at Sun University, 1 year younger to me, in the same department from where I studied. I accompanied her. I lived with her for a few days in the hostel, and management soon got to know that I am living over there illegally. So I was sent back, and I started living for a few days at my Khalas home in Hyderabad. But this journey I took because I knew that if I go back to village and I settle over there, I will start getting narrowed down my thinking, and I'll start quitting on my dream. I don't know, I wasn't sure about it. So I wanted to live in a city and then explore some opportunities and explore my career. And God listened my prayers, and I was very soon given the opportunity of serving as a lecturer on the contract basis at Mehran University. And that was one of the things that taught me the beautiful lesson that you should always hunt for opportunities. I mean, if you hunt for opportunities, I tell you honestly, opportunities will come looking after you. That's my firm belief in life. Because currently at this moment in this room, there are many things which are white colored, but my brain will not pick it up. But when I tell my brain, look for the white things, definitely I'm going to locate everything that is white in this room. So likewise in your life, if you dream, if you tell yourself, I want this thing, your brain automatically gets programmed. So it starts thinking in the places where you consciously don't think actually. So your subconscious minds hunt things for you. So connecting back with the story where I left, yes, I started serving as a lecturer in the university, and this was a time I also started looking for the scholarship. I was awarded Australian Development Award, which was a very prestigious award in those days. It comes with a different name these days. I started looking for more scholarship, and I remember I applied like crazy at different places, and I cleared my IELTS, I gave my GET, and then I was lucky enough again, or maybe my hard work paid off. I was awarded faculty development, like PhD scholarship for pursuing my PhD from abroad, from UK. And by the time I was awarded this, Elaf was just 3 months old, and she was pre-term baby. She was born before time. So when on the one hand I had got my visa and the scholarship in my hand, and on another hand I had got that infant little baby who was still like her body was processing, her nails wasn't there, her eyelashes wasn't there, they were like I mean, her body was still in the very primary stage, which many children finish into their mother's womb. And so for me, it was a very difficult, again, decision whether I should take this hand or that hand. I was at the verge of again leaving my dreams because they were getting changed, and I thought like, maybe it's time to sit back and look out to the family life first, because that is how I saw so many women around me choosing up. But then when I looked into the eyes of my child, I mean, I just felt, am I going to give the same life which I got in my mother struggled a lot to bring us out of those circles, and she put us in a new circle. She gave us much more than what she experienced in her life. So I questioned myself that what I have, am I going to give her only this, or am I also going to put up a struggle to change life perception and perspectives for her? And my mother, she just took my child from me, and then she said, go after your dreams, do your PhD, and then you can always return and your child is going to be yours. I mean, and I trusted her. I mean, of course I would trust no one else than my own mother who raised me. And I just felt so strong the way she, the way I saw her being strong for me and taking up the responsibility of raising up a very infant child. And that is how she took her up. And then I went to England, and when she was 2 years old, I brought her. So that is how my PhD journey went. And Elaf also got a very good, got a chance to experience life into UK. She started going to a daycare over there, and then she got a very beautiful social life over there, and she could experience much more than I would have given to her had I chosen to be in just in Hyderabad or in Tata and doing my teaching job, and then pursuing something that was just around me. So I changed my own life, but I changed her own perspective towards life as well. And my 3 years time, which was then a big achievement, because normally the average time that people were taking was 4 to 5 years, and I had this big what we can say fire within me, because I left my daughter behind, and I told myself that you have come here at the cost of leaving your baby behind, so justify it. So for me the question was justifying the time of absence that I created into her life, and I did my best, whatever I could, and in a short span of 3 years I completed. Then we returned, and I worked like crazy मैंने सिंध का कोई ऐसा कोना नहीं छोड़ा होगा जहाँ पे मैं ट्रेनिंग्स करवाने नहीं गई हुई. एक बगल में बच्चा, दूसरे बगल में बैग, एंड देन दैट्स हाउ आई डिड सुपरविजन्स ऑफ माई एमफिल स्टूडेंट्स एट खाना बदोश. Thankful to their administration for always allowing us to sit over there without buying anything, or just sitting and supervising my male students and female students, and then I'll just go back with my kids home. And I did participated in so many international conferences. I traveled to Malaysia. I traveled to many cities of Pakistan. So with kids I kept on caring, and this all practice was very natural to me because I saw the determination in my mother. It was an internally dialogue which was set into my mind. Coming towards some of the steps that I would like to share with you, which can help you to be successful in life. I believe successful people are not born, but they become with their hard work and with their determination. Like I talked about opportunities, look for opportunities, and opportunities are going to follow you. Another thing that I would like to tell you is many people will try to tell you that don't be vulnerable, be bold, be very, very bold, and try to protect yourself from failing or falling or breaking into million pieces. I always recommend that when you get a chance and when you are broken into million pieces, by the way, this is a chance that your software needs an update. I mean, this is a chance where you basically can redesign, recreate yourself. I mean, you broke basically because your system wasn't working properly. Okay, so take it as an opportunity to work in a better way. And another thing that I would like to give a message to my fellow women is, I mean, the society in which we live, many women have come out of it, but many women maybe can relate with what I am saying is, we live as part of others, like someone's sister, someone's wife, someone's daughter. So what we do, we create a mechanism inside of us in which we try to look for validation from others, of our feelings, of what we do, how we do. So, I mean, we have to challenge this internal dialogue within us. We should, kind of self-support system we have to create inside of us, that we don't have to look towards others to sanction or give approval to us about what we are doing. We need this boldness inside of us, because many times what we will do, society will always raise questions on it, but our own internal dialogue should be so strong that we can always put a block over it and move forward. Another thing that I would like to say to the youth is become technology savvy, because the more technology you become friends with technology, you actually end up saving time, and then you become a bit more skill oriented, and you've got much more to offer to the world. And be kind, listen to people, and build good interpersonal communication skills with other people, because the more you give, the more you start getting into your life. Always envision yourself in future. I mean, do not think what I'm doing at the present moment. It's important, enjoy it, but try to foresee yourself that down the line, 5 years, 10 years, even on my deathbed, how do I want to go? Because जब आप ये thinking सोचना शुरू कर देते हैं, तो you become very critical of what you are doing and how you're spending your time, because you get more goal oriented. And इस जर्नी में सबसे बड़ी एक मुश्किल बात जो होती है सक्सेसफुल होने में, वो हमारे fears होते हैं, which basically is our comfort zone. Because we always try to say, I'm scared of this, or this or that bad thing may happen, but basically this is our brain's mechanism to save ourselves from working more on things. Because when our brain says, well, I'm so scared of it and you shouldn't be doing it, and we take it as a message to stop there. So we need to have an alternative thinking pattern into our mind, and we need to dictate or regulate or program our mind that no, if I'm not comfortable with this thing today, then tomorrow, that's my goal to come out of that. Okay, so you need to do it. Another thing is, throughout my journey I have learned sense of ownership, because हम कहते हैं सक्सेसफुल होने के लिए सिर्फ हमें अपने बारे में सोचना होता है, but you have to be thinking about your impact on the people around you, on your society, because whosoever is a part of our life, around us, we need to touch their lives in order to create a prosperous society in a larger picture. So, try to be kind and see you don't end up only accumulating things for yourself, but what you scatter around is equally important. So be mindful of your time. That's what I said. Envision yourself and kill your fears. Every year give a new goal to yourself, new skill set. आप जितने नए अपने गोल्स बनाते जाएंगे उतने ही आप सक्सेसफुल होते जाएंगे.